Hey guys, and welcome back to Luigi's Mansion 2 Dark Moon. We come now to the third mansion of the game, the old Clockworks, and this is kind of where my enthusiasm runs out, because this is my least favourite mansion in the game. Richie, opinions?
Yeah, it's pretty bad. I mean, the thing is, it's annoying because, like, the idea of it is great. It's just that it's very big, and it's very boring.
Yeah, and usually you'd think old, creaky and dusty is a perfect environment to fight ghosts in. Not when the prevailing colours are brown and dirty yellow. It kind of lends a tired feel to the whole thing.
Yeah, and then that is most definitely not helped by what I seem to recall being an excessive amount of backtracking.
Oh yeah. Go here. Okay.
Yeah, it's about all EGAD ever does. It's just like, go here, go here, go here, go here, go here. The Dark Moon piece is probably there, but I don't know. We'll find out in about an hour.
That is exactly how Luigi's Mansion 2 works. The Dark Moon piece is here, but to get there you'll have to do 3 or 4 pointless missions first. Oh, chase a porta pop. Okay, you paintbrush-headed fuck. It's a shame as well, because the outside of Old Clockworks looks so menacing and imposing, but once you get inside it's like an empty workhouse.
Pretty much, and also, like, I really wish that they did play on the whole clock theme a little bit more, because apart from, like, the outside and some of the stuff inside, they kind of, it's just kind of there. You're mostly going through, like, catacombs and tombs and dusty areas rather than dealing with clocks.
Ironically, it's the stuff that's below the mansion that is more enjoyable than stuff within the mansion. And while we're on the subject, you're kind of stretching the definition of mansion a lot here. Let me just look this up on Google. Mansion definition. A large impressive house, a large block of flats, a terrace or mansion block. Synonyms: residence, hall, abode, stately home, seat, manor, country house, villa, castle. This is a factory, or a workhouse.
Yeah, it is stretching it quite a lot.
Here's a new mechanic. Bombs that chase you when you light them up with the strobe bulb.
Although, having said that, with the mansion, it does very generally just mean a large house or other building.
Well, like I said, they were using a very loose definition of this. They can't all be like Gloomy Manor, unfortunately. Very oppressive music on the outside of this place. It's mostly just ambient noise.
I think it is this one where there's just not a lot going on anywhere, so it just feels even more tedious than it has any right to be.
This is brilliant though. We've got to make the big one here match that time, and to do that you basically move this thing here until it matches up.
I do like it when you get clock puzzles like that. It is just quite fun.
Do you want to talk about Bayonetta, Richie?
Yes, I do.
Go for it.
Well, basically, the whole thing of clocks in video games is always quite cool, because just the whole concept of time is always just interesting. I mean, you have, like, the American McGee's Alice and Alice Madness Returns, and that does lots of interesting stuff with clocks. But also, my favourite instance of a clock in a video game is Bayonetta, because the game begins fighting on a kind of crumbling clock tower, and it's just one of the most insane openings of a video game ever, and I will never forget it.
Something similar happens in MGS Rising, I believe, when you get tossed into
Yes.
what I think was a clock tower by Metal Gear Ray, and then you run down it Sonic Unleashed style. I think the most obvious clock-based level we can talk about in regards to the Mario franchise is Tick-Tock Clock from Mario 64,
Yep.
where depending on when you jump into the portal, there's like a clock face that you jump into, and depending on what time you jump into, the level will operate in a different manner. That was really cool.
It's just a really cool thing to be able to do, because just clocks are interesting. There's another one of my really bland sentences which just kind of has no meaning whatsoever, but it makes sense when you think about what people do with clocks.
So, for those of you keeping track of Richie's obsessions, trees and clocks, more to come. I have no idea what that says, but I imagine
It says... Oh, I know what it says.
Okay.
It says boo.
Fucking really?
Yes.
Okay, Nintendo, you're the one who writes this stuff, I guess.
I mean, you can sort of... And I do mean only sort of figure it out if you notice that the 2-second bits of binary are identical. But, yeah, it says boo.
We haven't really got around to talking about the precious gems of the old clockworks. We had amethysts in the first one, right?
Yes.
Then we had emeralds in Haunted Towers. Now we have rubies. What do you think about rubies overall?
Well, considering Pokemon Ruby is my favourite version, I am a fan of rubies.
And Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire are coming out next month. It's very apt.
I know, it's great, and I played the demo recently because I managed to get it, and it was just like, yay!
It's decent. You only like fight for a few trainers and then it's over.
Pretty much, but it was nice just to return to Hoenn for a little bit before the main event.
Just in case you need more Polterpup in your life. Take notice of this little arena. We'll be back here in a few episodes' time.
Yes, and it's going to be an incredibly long mission that is going to be really tedious.
Getting flashbacks to the entrance to the basement in the original mansion here.
Yes, I mean, I wonder whether that was intentional, whether it was just because they decided they wanted to do all this under stuff, so it was just kind of coincidence.
God, can we get some clocks or gears, please? We'll end up talking about the floorboards.
I know, it would be nice. I mean, I could go on another one of my infamous, by this point, lectures about clocks now.
Go for it, mate. Time and a place. This is the correct time and place.
So, clocks have kind of technically been around for yonks, because, like, sundials, they are a type of clock. And I think it kind of, the word originates from kind of Middle Dutch and Old Northern French, where it's clock, and there's clocker and all sorts. There is a Old English word which I think is pronounced clutch, but it's only found once and has no historical connection to the word that we actually have. And it used, like, clock used to mean bell. So I think people kind of think that the reason why clocks are called clocks is because when they started creating mechanical stuff, they had the bell with them. So that was the connection. But in terms of how we see clocks now, we're an instrument for the measurement of time. The first usage that the OED's got is from 1371. And it's in Latin, so I can't quite read it, but there is another one in 1371, which is in Middle English, which I can read, which is, "Till it be high noon, smitten by the clock." Which I think is just, until it's high noon by the clock.
You get a bit of riffing, you get a bit of video game trivia, you get a bit of Old English trivia. Truly, this playthrough has it all.
It also gets used in Henry VI, Part 1 by Shakespeare. Their arms are set like clocks, still strike on.
I enjoyed Part 2, Henry Strikes Back.
Typical, the clock hands are gone.
Well, I guess that's missions 2, 3, and 4 solved.
Yep. This is what we mean by busy work.
Oh, here comes a new type of greenie. Ones that can fucking sand bend.
It's a good thing that we are doing this commentary during the week of Platinum in which the Legend of Korra game came out.
Yeah, the Gaming Brit and I have been streaming that just casually, riffing over it, talking about how much of a budget title it is. I haven't actually played it yet, so you'll have to take my opinions with a massive, massive grain of salt, but I suppose I'll get around to it eventually. I've been thinking of doing a playthrough of it with Mexi, so we'll see how that pans out.
Do it, do it, do it.
Just because you're a massive platinum nut, mate. You just want me to do it because you're playing Bayonetta too soon.
Yes, but I'm allowed to.
I'm a co-commentator, I have rights and feelings.
Although, at last check, I don't think I'm on the TV Tropes page yet, so I don't think I'm technically classified as a co-commentator.
Oh, you know when you've made it, when you get trope entries, mate. Egad, can you just let me get on? I mean, I'm doing pretty okay here.
I like how he calls them thieving clock enthusiasts.
Time stealers.
Yes, it's just like... I didn't realise that that was some sort of hobby. Stealing clocks. Having said that, considering the insanity of the human race, it would not surprise me if somewhere there was someone who had an obsession with stealing clocks.
Well, there is the Clock King from Batman.
I know practically nothing about Batman outside of your general, incredibly famous villains.
You can't see it, but I'm raising my arms in triumph. Finally, I have the upper hand in a conversation. I would recommend taking out the bombs first, because having to dodge around suicide bomber living mechanical bombs is kind of frightening.
Yes, it is. Also, they can just be quite annoying, because one flash and then they're just after you, and it's very, very easy to catch them even if you aren't attempting to shoot them.
Interestingly, the slammers don't really have any variation. When they're under the sand, they just pop out and attack you, whereas the greenies have that little tornado thing going on.
Well, I guess it's because pretty much the greenies are the incredibly varied kind of standard mook ghost, but then you get to like the hiders and the sneakers and the slammers, and they are literally just the same throughout everything. They don't change, they just get slightly harder maybe later on.
Yeah, they get more health points and such and hit harder.
Yeah.
It would be a perfectly good place to store our dosh before we die. Just put it in the air conditioning system.
Yeah, it really is a case of who put all of this money in all of these incredibly specific and random places that it's very, very difficult to reach.
I don't like when they just drop spiders or mini mooks in front of you specifically to nibble away at your health bar. It annoys me.
Yeah, you're not going to be getting that 3-star rank this time, Tom, I don't think.
I'll get you back to Luigi's Mansion 2 Dark Moon for the Nintendo 3DS, you mark my words. That's what we call karma, kids. You get hurt, then you get a bit of health. The mansion is rewarding your perseverance. Don't spin on chairs, you'll end up inside someone's vacuum cleaner. Well, I'm just dispensing life lessons here.
Well, it is very true, although it's an incredibly fun thing to do, spinning on, like, office chairs, because they just spin and it's awesome.
Oh, I get to rebut a point you made in the pool party mission of Haunted Towers now. The sneakers can actually hurt you, and they came very close to doing so in that mission, but I guess they were a bit delayed in that one. They basically slap you.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, there we go. One did just try to do a little slap, but was completely ineffectual.
Now it is I who is nibbling away at health points. How do you like it, ghosts?
Well, they're going to have a party in there, so they'll be fine.
Yeah, a party. Well, is being in a ghost prison a party?
Well, I mean, considering, like, there's a the boo container and all of the boos are in there. They seem to be having an alright time, just kind of flying around.
Is it really a smart idea to group boos together? We learned from the first game that the more boos there are in one place, the more powerful they are.
Yeah, I don't think he thought that one through very well, did he?
Just get a separate container for each boo. Problem solved.
But then that would be a lot of containers, wouldn't it?
Mission complete. So what we basically learned from this mission was all the fun stuff takes place outside, and we've got to find some clock hands.
Pretty much, and I don't think there's going to be any kind of deviation from that in the entirety of the mansion, in massive quotation marks.
Not the best start to kick off a mansion, but that's how Clockworks for you, I guess. Although, it has to be said, if you do like old Clockworks, please don't just, take our opinions as they are. Tell us why you like it. I like reading different opinions. Like, I like some levels in this game, dislike others, and some people will dislike the levels I like and like ones I don't. It's all good.
Well, I mean, that's the joy of opinions. Everybody can have them, and generally everybody has a different opinion.
Pretty much.
If only the internet could learn that this is a thing.
Why, Internet? Why do you refuse to grow up and like the things that I like? Making serious bank. If we keep up this trend, we'll probably be at the next upgrade within a mission or two.
I think you most definitely will be.
That was a bit of a pregnant pause.
Yeah, that does tend to happen quite a lot sometimes in the cutscenes. They just kind of pause for no reason.
Just like they're loading dialogue or something.
Probably, yeah.
Also, Egad says, why don't you go, fuck off a lot throughout the old Clockworks. It's like they didn't really have a script finished for this one, but I digress. That's enough bitching for one episode. Please join us next time, where there'll be more bitching. See you then.